Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Concerns about pedestrian safety in Connecticut in the wake of several deaths in recent days. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Numerous communities are mourning the loss of loved ones who were hit and killed by vehicles in recent days. And among those communities, the town of West Hartford, many people gathered tonight to pray.
Fox 61's Kayla Cade spoke with neighbors and with advocates for pedestrian safety who are trying to spark change in Connecticut.
There have been multiple pedestrian deaths in different cities like Bristol, New Haven, and here in West Hartford. On Monday night, a memorial vigil was held for a woman hit and killed last week. You can see friends and family leaving flowers in a memory of her.
This is a tragic event, and I just hope that this never happens to anybody else in this town and this state.
When Thomas Eveline turned on his TV Sunday night, he didn't expect to see his friend's name on the news.
I just felt very sad, shocked. I just couldn't believe that it was her.
Patricia Brulat was her name. On November 8th, she was hit by a driver on Oakwood Avenue near St. James Street, according to police. She passed away the next day.
She was actually at an open house, so she was a real estate agent. And even at 87, she was still active in the real estate communities.
To keep her memory alive and raise awareness, Bike West Hartford and partner organizations led a memorial vigil in the same place she took her last steps.
It's amazing. I mean, it just shows that people want change in the community. We want pedestrians to be safe.
We are a tight-knit community in West Hartford, and we wanted to come together and celebrate her and acknowledge her passing.
Her death was one of many in recent days across Connecticut. In Bristol, police say Anthony Fasadini was hit and killed by a vehicle Sunday on the Barnes Highway near Lincoln Avenue. And in New Haven, another deadly pedestrian crash, where 41-year-old Luis Timbila was hit and killed.
Every year we see these deaths go up, starting in November and lasting through January. So in many ways, it's not a surprise that we had such a terrible weekend.
Amy Watkins is the manager for Watch for Me CT, a program of the Department of Transportation in Connecticut Children's. She says they are tracking the amount of pedestrian and bicyclist fatalities.
We've lost almost 300 people on our roads to traffic crashes, and about almost 70 of those are pedestrians and bicyclists.
And an action committee called Vision Zero is working to decrease that number.
Some of those ideas could be raised crosswalks. I know that there should be some flashing beacons going on here. It could be tightening some intersections. It could be all sorts of interventions. We know what works, we just need them to be done.
Watch for Me CT is hosting a World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims in the U.S. It will be on Sunday in New Haven from 1 to 2:30 p.m. For more information, visit our website at fox61.com. In West Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Turning now to the weather, and for the first time in quite a while, we saw some rain in the forecast.
Yeah, not nearly enough, though, overnight to put a dent in the drought. But, you know, it's a start. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with more for us. Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Yeah, it was so nice to wake up to that smell of a wet ground. But we had 2 to 3 tenths of an inch of rain. We need 2 to 3 inches 2 to 3 times in order to really catch up on this rainfall deficit. So, unfortunately, the brush fire risk not only remains high tomorrow, but up at extreme levels. And the reason why is because not only will it continue to be dry tomorrow, but we're also adding the wind to the mix. And we could see gusts up to 30 or 35 miles an hour, which means any brush fires that start could spread even faster. So there is a red flag warning that is once again in effect all across the state. And it's the National Weather Service's way and the DEEP's way of saying, please be vigilant, no open burning, and making sure that you're extinguishing any smoking materials, which is something that we should be doing regularly anyway. We do have a cold front approaching, and what is this? It looks like some showers associated with it. The problem is, like we have seen so many times over the last couple of months, is that these showers are going to fall apart by the time they move through. So best case scenario, there's a drop or two, but that's about all we can expect. Temperatures will remain mild as we head through the overnight hours. We're in the upper 50s right now in the Hartford area, and we'll see low temperatures tonight in the 40s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies to partly cloudy skies to start off the day. Temperatures beginning in the 40s, and as we head through the afternoon, the wind picks up. We'll see highs around 50, which is quite a bit cooler than it was outside today. You're going to notice a sharp difference, about 20 degrees lower than today's temperature temperature, which was closer to 70. Winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour. And we could see higher gusts up to 30 or 35. We'll take a look at how much longer this actual true November chill sticks around. And is there any rain in the forecast? Your forecast is coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, the job is far from over for firefighters across Connecticut. The Hawthorne fire is one of many fires still burning around the state. Crews continue to monitor that fire on Lamentation Mountain in Berlin, hoping for more precipitation in the forecast to help aid the frightening firefighting efforts, I should say. And the other state park that remains closed tonight is Rocky Neck State Park, where the brush fire is still burning as well. Crews are keeping a close eye on that fire in Niantic and making sure people abide by the closures and the burn ban put in place for the entire state.
It's not just here in Connecticut. Firefighters are dealing with some fast-moving fires to our south in New Jersey. This one here, named the Jennings Creek Wildfire, is burning in West Milford, New Jersey. This is in the northern part of the state by the New York border. Thousands of acres of land have already been destroyed with little rain to help the cause there either.
Well, every November 11th, we pause to reflect, remember, and say thank you to the men and women who've served our country to protect our freedom.
And there are more than 100,000 veterans living in Connecticut, and they deserve the honor and respect they fought for. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot takes us to Rocky Hill for just one of the many local ceremonies.
Veterans are being recognized all across the state. Their service and their sacrifice aren't going unnoticed.
So thank that God.
Through music, a free meal, and socks, veterans in Connecticut are being honored.
It means a lot. It means a lot to all of the veterans here, to be recognized, to know the service, what we've done, for our country. And we appreciate everybody who came today.
Friends and family honored their loved ones for their service and commitment on Monday. Socks were also handed out to veterans that reside at the Veterans Home in Rocky Hill.
It might seem a little bit weird, right? Like something that I kind of take for granted, but we were told that, those items that people do take for granted and are kind of basic are things that are very sought after here, like socks or undershirts, things of that nature.
For some veterans, today is emotional. Kenneth Spate is a Vietnam Air veteran, and his dad and uncle both served in World War II.
His brother Earl was in the infantry. Earl was the sole survivor of a Banzai attack. Everybody in this company was killed except him. He never recovered from that. In 1953, they put him in a VA home in Virginia, and he died there in 1998. To me, that is a sacrifice for your country.
U.S. Marine Corps veteran Tom Callanan has this advice to the young people.
Ask your forebears, your grandparents, your parents, anyone who served, about what they did. My dad, he would tell me stories about things that he did in World War II, and I wish I had written them down or had recorded them, and he's passed long ago. So take advantage of the people while they're still alive to write these things down, because they've seen so much and they can make a big difference in your life because they made a difference in all of our lives.
The Veterans Home in Rocky Hill continues to celebrate and uplift those who have served our state and our country, as well as those who've made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedom. In Rocky Hill, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kay, thank you. And in New Britain, there's always an impressive crowd on Veterans Day where the community comes together to recognize those who've served.
It's a long-standing tradition that's incredibly important to carry on. Here's Fox 61's Jim Altman.
A tradition in New Britain endures. The day is about celebrating the colors and honoring the veterans that wore them.
Order, arms.
On the 11th month.
Present, arms.
On the 11th day, and right at the 11th hour. There is a single purpose at New Britain's Central Park Memorial.
Well, to me, it honors everyone who went to boot camp, took an oath, and went out there and did their best to serve honorably.
Where Main Street meets the monument here, observing Veterans Day endures. It is a day to honor the service of those like retired Marine Sergeant John Lynch. He's 88.
As you get older, it becomes more and more important because it was a big point in your life. And the Marine Corps gave me a perspective on life that I would never have had otherwise.
92-year-old Sam Jimenez is an Army combat veteran from the Korean War.
I was in the Army when I was 19 years old, you know, and I was fighting in the mountains of Korea. We were fighting for the country.
Here, it is a chance to preserve history and to keep the storied past alive by sharing their stories.
Ceasefire, lock. We don't particularly want anyone to give us any accolades, but just join together and preserve this democracy that we have.
Just stop for a moment and see that old fella. He may look old like me, but we put our time in and we paid our dues. And I think it was extremely important.
When you see a veteran wearing these hats and different things, ask them their story, but you'll be amazed at what they've done.
Half left, face.
In New Britain,
Present, arm.
Jim Altman, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Also important there. We're honoring all our local veterans who have served our country to protect our freedom. You can find our reports honoring Connecticut's veterans and today's tributes to the brave men and women who have served on fox61.com and on the free Fox 61 News app.
Well, new tonight, Cheshire Public Schools has temporarily removed one of its teachers while it investigates a video found on social media. The district superintendent says the video shows the teacher expressing her, quote, personal opinions. He says it was shared in a private Snapchat message, but someone recorded it and posted it publicly. The superintendent says the school has not received any threats, but will have extra police presence at the school as a precaution.
New tonight, a man's under arrest charged in connection to a deadly crash in New London last month. Police say two people riding scooters crashed on Broad Street near the entrance to the Cedar Grove Cemetery. One of the riders died. The other, 30-year-old Franca Francis, was brought to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. He has since been arrested. He's charged with manslaughter and operating a vehicle under the influence.